Okay, we got another one here in the series, and this one specifically, I'm trying to get the microphone not to move here. I'm trying to not play it under the mask because it doesn't work. I'm just trying to do so you can just hear me a little bit here and talk loud enough that you can hear me. So, the one I want to talk about is another spin-off of this individualism topic, and I want to talk about another one that was in my original Excel sheet of being plus and minus because we keep talking about this plus and minus time together. Plus and minus traits, right? Plus and minus traits. So we've seen this over time. I haven't actually brought it up every single time, but we're going to see this coming up over and over again. So one of the one is about pro. Oh, I can't remember the pro-life. It's called pro-life, and so it's pro-life versus abortion. Okay, but usually it's the trait is pro-life or sorry, got another train station to be announced here, so we're gonna have to kind of deal with that here. Um, so the pro-life is plus pro-life or minus pro-life, and the concept if you're minus pro-life, then you're for abortion, which it's a very binary thinking because it's you're either pro-life or you're not pro-life, and everything, and there's not this um, if you're for abortion at all, then you're not pro-life, which is not true, because actually there are people that are okay with the situation of needing to have abortions in very certain contexts where they're sorry, got some background here. I'm in a train. They're announcing the thing here, announcing the the different train stations, so whatever. Um, so trying to get here so we don't see the train station names. Um, so the thing here is it's very it's kind of, let's say it's problematic because there are some people that are okay with just having um, there are certain conditions where you have an abortion, and then you try to avoid it as much as you can, and then if you have to do it because it's going to endanger the life of the woman or the mother, then do it. And then there are some that are totally, I have, it's my body. You can't tell me what I want to do. That, which comes back to the individualism chapter, right? So again, this is not. I could actually put this under different chapters depending on what I want to talk about. But I want to bring it as a separate thing because it's just another example of if I had an Excel sheet of all these different plus minus values on specific topics, this would be another one that's caught up a lot. And this is brought up really heavily in American culture, especially with the Christianity one. Christianity. So this brings up in the Christianity chapter, right? So I mean, I could attach this to different chapters anywhere, but it's brought up heavily there, and it's something that brings a lot of contention, just a huge amount of contention, where it's not, it doesn't have to be. You can just, if there's a health risk, then do what you need to do. But there's this whole thing of, individual rights. Doctors can't, no one can decide stuff. So, and I totally understand that, but it gets to the extreme so much that people take it and they will talk about it so much and just go to the extreme that it's like, well, that's not what the topic was, and they get really caught up with the whole thing, and they'll push it to the limits. So they'll also push the limits for the whole thing of we'll kind of see that's now that's one topic here, and let's say I guess in this I can bring it along. What I'll do is I called it pro life and stuff. Now we have add another one to it. I'll add another one to it is the whole transgender and the whole. God, I can't remember what the acronym for the thing is because it's I haven't learned it in English. That's the problem. So it's not the same thing in French. So I mean, so I don't know what the acronym is for LB something something. I don't know what it is. Okay, so I mean, I haven't learned it in English. So even though I'm a native speaker, I don't be able to live in English all the day, reading and hearing it all day. So I only see what I read, and sometimes I don't see it. So I mean, it brings up, but the whole pride thing, gender, all that. Which I got family members, that are affected by this, and close friends that are, that are in this. So I understand this thing. I'm totally aware of this. But the whole thing is, you've got it again is this whole plus or minus. You're pro something and pro not, and sometimes there are kind of in between cases. There's a no man's land. There are things where it's okay to not have to be the person having to prove that they're being trying to say pro this and pro that and putting he or she on your profile all the time and all that. And it's okay to not have to be a person. In some people, you have to put the he or she or him or her on your profile stuff to indicate that you're being affiliated with diversity, inclusion, all this. And it's like, no, I mean, that's an individual choice, and you can be somebody that really thinks that does support this. Um, but it comes back to, again, all these things are kind of related. They're all kind of this plus and minus approach, and you'll have people that are against or for, and so you're for having only male and female gender, or you're against it, that kind of thing. And it's kind of it's a thing where there's not a whole lot of fine lines, and actually they're kind of in between things. It's like, some people can say, well, whatever, let the person choose what they want, and if they want to do that, then whatever, and it's no big deal. But and again, this is going to link up. This one is going to link up under the whole Christianity topic too, and that, or under individual topics. I mean, individualism. You're going to get this. But these are a couple of different other topics that again can be brought into an Excel sheet with the columns and rows with plus and minus values of the topic, and say. But the interesting thing again is there's very seldomly a third option or a fourth option or a fifth option. There's just usually two, plus or minus. And there's not this, well, kind of in between thing. So think about that. Think about that, how it might, again, I'm just bringing up points. I'm trying to see correlation points between a lot of different topics and how those relate to situations where I've seen contentions or, lived through contentions, seen them and all that, and trying to deal with how this impacts, relations in families and friends, at work, in nonprofit associations, in music schools, and sports clubs, and NGO, whatever. I mean, it's kind of life in general. So just let's continue to look at these topics and see how many more we get, and see how they kind of correlate at the end. Because I'm discovering this as I go with you as well. I'm realizing that I'm adding a few more to the list I actually had in that file that's sitting over there in that disk that I haven't opened up yet. So it's okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go look for it so I can see if I've forgotten some things, because I might be forgetting some of these topics that I wanted to mention. So that's another chapter. And yeah, it was kind of two sub chapters in a chapter. They're kind of related. But these are all converging towards, we're showing the interrelationships between things. Again, this is not single independent, completely independent topics. They're very related to other topics. They're all, and we'll see this as this converges. So thanks again. Let's go to another chapter, and I'm coming to the train station, so I won't be wearing a mask for the next one. Okay, have a good day.